Big game week, so lots of excitement and anxiety to manage. But yeah, it's been a good one. So, how can I be of help to you boys? What do you want to know?
Was it a meeting with Manu Tuolangi signing his new contract?
Make any assumptions that you want to on that part.
Is that in discussion then? Is that
Oh, it's always in discussion, yeah, because he's one of the world's best players, and from what I gather, he wants to stay. He's pretty excited with how we're building here, but you know, being one of the world's best players, he's got a lot of the world's offers. So whether we can match them is another question. We'll have to wait and see, boys.
And just while we're on that subject, is he close to coming back?
Yeah, 4 or 5 weeks. I think I said 4 or 5 weeks 2 weeks ago. But it's about. He's been on the field. He's not been playing, but he's been in the background with me, keeping me company, having a look at training. So if he's on the field, it means now and again you have to run pretty fast to get out the way of the play. So it shows you that he's getting more game ready, more involved with what's going on the rugby side.
He seems to be a kind of slightly forgotten man in all the kind of Lions conversations and things like that. So he could make a late run.
Well, coming under the radar is what we do at Sale Sharks, isn't it? We're the forgotten team, not just Manu Tuolangi being the forgotten man. So I don't mind that. To quote the usual suspect, the greatest trick the devil ever pulled was convincing the world he didn't exist. I'm quite happy for the world not to know that we exist right now.
And just onto this week, I mean, where's the club's European ambitions then now? Because you know, the competition took a funny turn when the rounds were cancelled and suddenly you're in the playoffs.
Yeah, Willy Wonka's "I Got a Golden Ticket." That song kind of springs to mind as an earworm. We're not going there to make up numbers. We don't feel like we're competition winners. We're going there for a purpose, as everyone else is in the last 16. And that's to do a job, to go through.
And presumably, when you took on the job, the board and whoever were talking about European ambitions for Sale. It's been a while since they were up there.
I don't think they've ever got this far in the comp. So yeah, it's new territory for these boys, you know, and I've been fortunate enough to be in an establishment that's been there last 10 years. We've got some big game players though, who've been in big games, and so they know what it is, the necessity to step it up in terms of the intensity, the physicality, whilst almost being able to take it down a notch in terms of your clarity and your composure. It is the closest you get to international rugby, and against the best players and the best teams. So what's not to get excited about? You know, it's brilliant for the club. It's brilliant for the North to have a presence in Europe, and we're taking the North to Europe.
Talking about clarity, Alex, it may not be a good idea to take the Scarlets on with 4 yellow cards. We've talked about this week on week.
Yeah.
Are they just not listening, or what?
We're doing loads about it. We're doing loads. It's always on our mind. And like I told you in the past, what we've been trying to do is understand the mental aspects, the feelings and the thoughts that drive the behaviours. And over the last 2 months, we've become more self-aware, actually, of whether it's been a mental or a spiralling of our mentality and our mindset, or it's been down to a system behaviour, if you will. And if you're to look at all those at the weekend, most of them were down to poor system errors. Too tight in defence means we're stretching the wide channel. You know, or even Luke having to drift because we were tight the phase before and came out of line, so he sticks an arm out. All these things were as a result of behavioural issues, not mentally spiralling, which is rewarding. I feel like we've made some progression there despite the tally. Having said that, you know, it also showed a degree of resilience to be able to hold it together, to have the belief that if we got down there and I spoke to the players and we still got down there at that later stage in the game, that we could see it through. And that's a credit to them really about how they communicated that and kept their heads amongst all the curveballs that were thrown.
You've been on some pretty tricky away trips with Saracens, but going to Wales when they just won the Six Nations and quite a few of those Scarlets boys were heavily involved, is this like a really bad idea?
Bad or good, who knows if they've managed to shelve the brilliant performance in the Six Nations or if they're going to carry it and use it as a momentum. You just don't know. I can't tell the mind of another individual, another team. I'm hoping for the former, not the latter. But it's really tough going down there. All the Pro 14, Pro 16 teams, whatever it's Pro 16 teams now, when they enter into Europe, raise the game. They're playing for Wales as much as they're playing for the club, for the Scarlets, and I've borne witness to that over the years with Sarries. So we're trying to make the lads aware of it without making them fearful of it. And likewise, is the Pro 16 the same intensity as the Premiership? Well, we'll see at the weekend. Have they been used to the kind of intensity which our boys are exposed to week in, week out? I don't want to diss it, but maybe not.